cool mug DougDoug. I didn't know you were such a sylph.
Sausage? Sailor? What is the S? What is the S?
Did you see my post on the subreddit with the rigged axe? I think that would be a very fun Easter egg for 1/1000th MugMug buyers.
I did see that, and that would be funny. This would be funny to add. The shipping is really expensive to a lot of people. To be fair, we get them to LA first, so they're shipping out of Los Angeles. This is going to shock some people, is not close to many places on Earth. So I saw some people saying it's like $80 or something to ship to Australia, which sucks. Unfortunately, that just shipping to Australia costs a lot.
Hello Douglas, you are looking very demure, very mindful today. Are you doing something different with your hair? Well, what's left of it?
Yeah, what I did today is I took a Sharpie and drew lines on my bald scalp.
Hey Doug, can we watch Ape Cam? Just type it in on Google, it should be the San Diego Zoo.
No, you can go watch Ape Cam. That's a different thing. You can go watch a different thing. You don't have to watch everything through my stream.
Hey Doug, your new mug commercial was such a banger. You must have spent a lot on production. Also, I am not gay, but damn. Also remember chat, AI bots can't spend bits. Show you are real by spending money. This is not a ploy
I don't need to milk you for money. We sold 3,000 mugs yesterday. I made a lot of money off of mugs. Unironically, mugs are now one of the largest source of income that I have as a person. Okay, so I'm good. I don't need your money. I am now a like mug salesman. I'm like an extremely successful mug salesman.
Hey Doug, Austrian viewer here. The MugMug has cost me my will.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Mortgage on my house.
They really are very expensive for shipping. If it makes you feel any better, Americans didn't have to pay that much, which is important because we're already all rich. So hopefully that helps you out a little bit. Okay, so for people who were alive like 6 months ago, we did the first launch of the DougDoug MugMugs, and we made the 90s ad, right? So we made the mugs in like February, I want to say. Like that's when they were made. When did we launch the mugs? It was like April, right? I think. Anyway, once we got the test thing and I was like, holy shit, these are awesome. Let's make commercials for them. So we spent 3 days filming mug commercials. The first day was filming this 90s ad. And this was like, dude, this took like 6 hours. Each of these shots, there was so much water everywhere, all over my kitchen as we just like, we're throwing mugs of water around to get all these shots. And there's a bunch of shots that we didn't even use. I took every towel in my house, bought more, and then we had to run the laundry all day long to try to get fresh towels to soak up all the water that was just being poured everywhere. But what you didn't see is that the morning that we were filming this, we also went into a pool and filmed like 15 shots of me jumping into a pool, which got us these cool shots from the, here, I'll show the clone ad if you haven't seen it. That's a sylph moment right there. Why is this version of Doug hot? I feel like it's just, it is me, objectively. I mean, I guess I could have really fallen off from 6 months ago. Okay, so...
Kiss him.
That's Barry. Okay, so we did 3 days of filming. This is all like 6 months ago. So day one, we filmed the 90s commercial in my kitchen and just like got water fucking everywhere. But we also, because we were making fun of this specific Giorgio Armani ad, so we had this commercial and we were trying to parody this like shot for shot, basically. So as you can see, it's like the exact same shot. So then he walks back on the beach and then the commercial ends with him like popping out of a bathtub. Which I don't understand that ending. So we were like, all right, let's parody this Cologne commercial. So as you can see, it's like mostly the exact same thing. And so we were like, okay, if we go to a beach and film this, we can just like match all the shots, which will be funny. So we went to this beach like around Los Angeles, and then he runs to this giant pool. So we were like, okay, we want to get this shot. Well, to get this shot, for people who are wondering, this is in just a pool in a backyard. And then we bought, this is, by the way, Perry and Barry were producing this. And then Martin is a guy we hired to help film it. He's the DP. So we bought like black drapes and hung them along the outside of a pool and then had to like put weights to keep it to the bottom of the pool. So it's stretched out along the back. So the back of the pool is then kind of black. And then I'm jumping into the pool in front of it. And we have a camera with like a bag around it that is underwater looking at me doing this. So this is how we actually filmed it. And it came out looking awesome, right? Like this is literally just jumping into like a normal backyard pool. And then Kiki, who edited this, did a really good job making it look like black and like this is actual legit cinema. I'm not gonna have the cinema code on today for very long, but I will put it on right now because this is straight fucking cinema. It's so cool looking. So I bring this up because we shot this in February. So this is in a backyard pool in February. I don't know what degrees the temperature was, but it was fucking like, I don't know, 35 or something in the water. And so we had to, we had to film this like 20 times. Is that why your nipples are full alert? It's just frigidly cold. I mean, it's not like freezing level cold, but for like an hour, I'm getting out of a pool, like hyperventilating and then jumping back in and trying to calmly like look serene in a pool, even though I'm absolutely fucking freezing. Meanwhile, Perry keeps having to swim to the bottom of the pool to put weights on, like sandbags on the drapes that are behind me to make it look black. And then Martin is just like sitting in the pool, half submerged, holding an underwater camera. So all three of us are just like freezing in this pool in February for like an hour. It sucked. And fortunately, the shot came out really cool. Like this is like really aggressively, unnecessarily cinematic. But this was so uncomfortable. There'd be takes where I would like get down and then I would like, you know, if you like jump into a pool and you're like, ugh, and we're like, we gotta run it back. Like, we gotta do the whole thing over again. Oh, it was awful. And then afterwards we went into the bathtub. So we did the shot of me coming out of the bathtub. And so I have this bathtub in my place, but it's too big for me to like sit up like this, right? It looks straightforward, right? Doug is sitting up in the bathtub. Well, I can't actually do that. So the way this works is off screen here is Barry, my creative director, producer. He's sitting there with his legs like in the bath. So he's in the bath, like right out of frame. And I'm sitting there with my legs pushed up against his knees. So we're in this weird like centipede position so that I have enough like of a position that I can push myself up out of the water. So we're in this extremely strange like interlocking position in the bathtub. And then we had to shoot this like 15 times. And so for each take, we did this whole thing. I come out of the bath. So first off, I start underwater, like flat. And to make sure you have enough time, this is like, I was sitting here for like 5 seconds underwater. Like trying to not breathe in any way, obviously. But like if I don't exhale, then water's getting in my nose. And then push off of Barry's knees, which are right like here. And then he's like having to hold himself because I'm pushing against him so hard. Push myself up. By the way, I'm not sure if you noticed this. We did this like 15 times. A lot of water is coming out of the bathtub. So there's just like water all over the floor. And again, this is the same day we're filming the 90s mug commercial. So we're already using like, we've used all the towels in my house. So we just have like wet towels everywhere into this like desperate attempt to get some of the gallons of water up. And then as part of the shot, we like wanted me to drink it, right? So we didn't actually end up using it really. So there's like a blooper, obviously, that we included at the end. I think we're gonna put together a little blooper reel of the 2 ads that we did. But every time we did this, every time we did this bath reveal, I started like flat. It was getting water up into my nostrils, and then I'm coming out and then drinking a bunch of the mug in like a ridiculous way. And so I'm like, I basically have like 5 seconds before my lungs like cough up all the water that is inside of them. So right here, I'm like trying to look calm, but you know when you like get a bunch of water down the wrong pipe and you're like, I need to cough really bad, and you try to hold it in. I was just doing this for like as long as I could and then just start coughing water up because there's like in my lungs. And then it's that like 15 times in a row. Yeah, filming the water parts were a little brutal. And then day 2, Perry and Martin did this. They just did like a little cinematic sort of a promo shot. So we did this on day 2. I wasn't a part of this one. They just got these shots, which are cool. So then day 3, we went to the beach to film this stuff. And so we just like found this beach in Los Angeles. And Martin has a drone, which is how we got these dope ass drone shots on top of him just being very good at his job. And so this was like, again, February. It's very cold. So other people are there on the beach. First off, very awkward to run around like this on a beach. Secondly, very cold. So most people there are wearing like sweaters. And I'm like, not only in very skimpy clothing, I am taking it off. And then each one of these shots, we have like 15 versions of them. So we're just spending for like 30 minutes of time. I'm just like running and doing this fucking, you know, pulling motion. We have like 15 versions of me like throwing the shirt off. So another funny part, this is like a fairly well-known beach spot in the kind kind of Los Angeles area, so people will visit it. So there are other people there, even other people like filming things. So there's like a news crew, people did wedding photos while we're there. There's all these like people doing these little like photo shoots, and we're doing ours. And then these 3 European guys come over. They're like probably 20, and you can tell they're like, I don't know, Polish or something. And they come over like, oh, it's like celebrity. And we're like, oh yeah, it's a good time. And they asked to get a picture with me. So just to be clear, they came to a beach, did not know who I was, but because we had a guy with a fancy camera and 2 other guys standing nearby as like producers planning it with like some gear around, and then I'm running through a beach, ripping my shirt off, they thought we were actually filming a legit Cologne commercial. They thought this was just like an actual celebrity doing promotional modeling material on the beach, because we're just like doing all these shots around the beach. And so they like, came over like, oh, give me a picture. And we're like, hey, sorry, we're busy. We are trying to get through this. No, they didn't ask for a picture, because if it was a picture, I would have said yes. I'd obviously fine with that. They said, can we join? They wanted to, during these shots of like running and pulling the shirt off, like, can we be a part of it? I'm like, sorry, no, we have to like do this thing. That won't make sense. And they like got disappointed. And I was like, dude, I'm sorry. You can't just like, in your brain, you are watching people film a commercial. Technically, that's true. Why would you think that just because you're a tourist, you get to like be a part of the commercial now? It's not, because that's not how it works. Like, and so we were just like politely like, sorry, we can't do it. But they like wanted to be part of it. And then they like stood and just watched for like 30 minutes. And it was very awkward. I felt very awkward doing a lot of this. As you probably know from watching my content, I don't just like go around outside like this. So it was very funny to do like this wasn't, when we were filming it, it wasn't jokey in any way, right? We just looked like people who are like, yeah, I'm hot as shit. It's like, they didn't realize it's for a mug commercial. And so it's just like, it's so goofy. And then we got these sweet ass shots with mugs. Anyways, it was a very funny time. So this is all the mug material we filmed. I don't have future plans for the mug. And then the first batch of mugs that we did in April, I think, we did the 90s ad for them, right? Did they see you with the MugMug? No, the MugMug was in a bag to the side. They didn't realize we were filming a mug commercial. They just thought I was running around on a beach and having a bunch of dudes film me. Like, they just thought I was a guy who was being filmed running around shirtless. So this one came out in April, the first mug drop, and we made 2,500 of them. I had no idea how many mugs we would sell. The only point of reference I had, and just this is for people who are curious about numbers, the only point of reference I had was that when I sold the plushie back in 2020, I think we sold 2,000 of them. So I was like, okay, I do have a bigger audience now, but it's not like that much bigger. Like in 2020, I would still get videos with millions of views and whatnot. So I was like, okay, let's do 2,500. It'll probably sell out, but like we make them in advance, right? These aren't made to order. So like we have to make a shitload of them in advance, and then they're just sitting in a warehouse. And if I don't sell them, I have to pay money every month for them to sit in the warehouse like forever. So I was like, it probably is better to have less of them rather than way too many, right? So we made 2,500 and we sold them in April, and they sold in 48 hours, like 2 days. It was really, really fast, right? So this time around, we were like, why don't we do another 2,500? I'm not a marketing guy. I haven't really sold much merch. I would have assumed that it would sell less this time because it's the same product as last time. 6 months ago, we sold 2,500 of these mugs. I would think that probably everybody who wanted a mug, most people wanted a mug, would have gotten one. And then when we put out another order of mugs, that the remaining people who didn't get one could buy one. So I was like, okay, this was my assumption. I'm just like, yeah, probably there will be less sales because we already sold it. It's the same thing. It's not a new one. It's the same mug. They just made more of them. So I was like, okay, I think we'll probably sell less. But then I was like, okay, enough people have talked about it. I'd rather in this time, because it sold out really quick last time, I'll make more and potentially have to pay to like have hundreds of mugs sitting around in a warehouse for like months, but we'll make more. So we made 3,000 instead of 2,500 on the assumption that this will take weeks to sell out, and it very possibly won't sell out at all, because why would anybody buy more mugs? And most people probably bought the mug that they wanted the first time. Instead, we sold out in 6 hours. We sold like 2,000 mugs in like 2 hours yesterday. So it went way, way, way faster this time. 8 times faster, even though we had 500 more mugs, which doesn't make sense to me. I don't know why the interest in mugs has increased from 6 months ago for the same product. And so maybe it is just the ad. Maybe me running around on a beach is what did it. But like, I genuinely don't understand. Is it that like you guys have seen the mugs and now you're like, oh, it is a real thing, I actually want one this time? I don't know why people bought them so much more. Raw sex appeal. I mean, but it's all a joke. It's like we're making fun of a commercial. Anyway, that's the story of the mug. So I genuinely sorry if we sold out and you couldn't get one. I thought I was prepared to spend a bunch of money to have hundreds of mugs sitting around in a warehouse because nobody would buy them. I was ready to do that. And we even delayed the launch a little bit so we could get 500 more added to the order. And they sold out in 6 hours. So we will do another mug drop. We'll probably, this is not a promise. I mean, I know now people will, but don't clip this and be like, Doug, you promised. but probably we'll also add some kind of variation to it or new version or something like that. So we'll probably, no promises, this is not, I am currently lying. Probably I'll do something where we like re-release the orange one and do a new version at the same time, something like that. But we also have some other merch things to do. Anyways, in theory, in the next 6-ish months, we will launch more mugs and maybe do more of them this time. I don't know. I would assume the third launch would need less. I don't know who is the person who wanted mugs but didn't buy them the first 2 times. Anyways, that's the DougDoug MugMug. Get the whole collection. This is literally like, we've sold so many fucking mugs. It's so funny. And then again, I mentioned this earlier, but I'm sorry if you live in a not North America part and it costs a lot for shipping. Apparently it costs a lot to ship to random places around the world. I apologize. Oh, thank you, Blubber Lover, for the 5 years. I got really confused for a second.
Hey Doug, willing to bet on the Commanders Eagles game with me? I'll put 5 subs down the Birds win.
I'll put 5 on Washington. That's funny. Okay, so if Washington loses to the Eagles, I owe you guys 5 gifted subs. Sports betting, but with my own viewers using gifted subs is very funny.
Please don't make another Cologne commercial. My wife and I almost got divorced for even the slightest chance of being with you.
Just to be clear,
you don't want it on your conscience.
If you watch
right?
the Cologne commercial, there is still a 0% chance of you getting with me. That doesn't need to cause marital conflict. Also, the golden mug mugs, there's only 10 of them, are fucking awesome. I can show you one. Golden mug mug. Golden mug mug.
Doug, you know how whenever you do other events you gave them your Thanos photo for a profile/creator photo. You should replace that, and give future events the photo of you floating underwater. So it's like this high cinema photo for no reason whenever it lists
funny.
Streamers who are part of something.
Okay, I enjoyed that, TTS. That is true. That's funny. As a reminder, only 15 of these were ever made in the world. It's not solid gold, by the way. It is a ceramic mug that is painted differently. But we only made 15 of these for the Rosa stream. The 10 people who got them are the only people who own one. Only once. Literally nobody else. Except me, Perry, and Barry. So I made 15. So we're only going to make these for very special circumstances, like Monterey Bay Aquarium fundraisers. Otherwise, the mugs are like the golden mugs are hyper exclusive. But we might make other flavors or something. I don't know. Shockingly, this might shock you guys. I don't spend most of my days thinking about how to sell more mugs. This is more of a side project that I will now think about more with the team.
You underestimate this chat's ability to do anything against your expectations.
Yeah, but like it's I don't know. I do really like it. This is legit my favorite merch item of any content creator, but I am of course biased.
Breaking news, man who averages 8k views while streaming sells 2k mugs. Who could have imagined?
It's the numbers don't make, you don't sell, it's not like a quarter of your viewers buy merch. That's just not how the numbers work.
Doug makes fun of professional marketing, accidentally does it too well and learns that marketing actually works. Lamo, alright, bye Doug, I love you.
Maybe you guys just really like mugs. Maybe it's just a Venn diagram of video game viewers and mug enthusiasts.
Okay, genuinely, this mug has been a mainstay in my home since I've bought it. It's perfect for having people over or making floats.
It's actually
great. I was looking forward to buying 3 more, but missed it this time around. Alright, bye Doug, I love you.
Okay, I will probably make way more next time. When we do the next launch, I'll make just a lot of mugs. We'll just overproduce. And then I'm just gonna, literally I'm gonna have like my home will just be filled with boxes of mugs that aren't sold, but whatever.
Holy shit, real gold.
Not real gold. It is real gold colored paint. That is real.
It might be a coincidence, but you should know Burberry stock has jumped up like 20% since the Cologne video.
It might be coincidence.